Hey everybody, how's it going? It's almost time to go back to school for you Americans. Thankfully, here in Canada, we still have another month and a half to go. A month and a half with my wife at home. Actually, I do like that. It's a good thing. I like it a lot. Anyhow, what are we looking at today? We're looking at the button lock version of the Elementum by Civivi. That is the Elementum II. It's just like the Elementum, except it's got a button lock. Okay, you can just go watch that Elementum review and this video is done, right? Well, got a few things to tell you. There's a lot of things that are the same. So this won't be a full review. Honestly, if you want to see all the information about the Elementum, watch the Elementum video. I put it out, I don't know, 15 months ago or something. I think it was April last year. Year before last, I mean. I don't remember. This year has just been a mess in my head. I don't remember exactly when. It's over a year ago anyways. And the Elementum II is just like the Elementum, except it's got a button lock. Now this one's got a few, little differences. That's because some things are unique, like every single time, like how well they sharpened it, that kind of stuff. So I will talk about this video. We will go to the tabletop, take a good look, and I'll let you see and hear about a lot of it. You'll find out how big the video is by watching it. So just do that. It'll make all of us happy. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to be notified. Lately, I've been putting out one video a week. Yes, I'm really planning on increasing that, but it's kind of tough right now. And what else did I want to say? I don't remember what else I wanted to say. So, hey, let's get to the tabletop view and take a look. Before I really get into it, yes, Civivi did make an Elementum with a button lock before they made the Elementum II. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the Elementum II, not the other button lock version. I'll give you a tiny information about the other button lock version. You got micarta, you got other materials, I think. 14C28N on the button lock Elementum. You also have a pocket clip on the left side on, the Elementum with the button lock. But this video is about the Elementum II. Hopefully that's clear enough. Let's get started. First off, there's 4 main versions of the Elementum II. There's exclusives out there and stuff, but the 4 main ones are Jade G10 with a satin finish blade, and then you've got this OD green or black G10 with a black wash blade, or you can get G10 with a carbon fiber laminate and a Damascus blade. Those are the 4 main ways. If you want other ways, you're going to have to look around and find them yourself. Before I get too far ahead of myself, price for this, White Mountain Knives, $65. Take off 10% with coupon code CCE, and that makes it $58.50. So well within the budget range. That's pretty good for a button lock. That's about 77 Canadian. Now, if you are in Canada, you're probably not going to want to buy this from anywhere outside of Canada. And the cheapest place in Canada is Blades Canada, aka Warriors and Wonders. $95 Canadian for this. So 77 Canadian in America, 95 Canadian in Canada. So yeah, we pay a premium here. At least our prices aren't as bad as they are in Australia. That's just nasty how much they have to pay for stuff. If you want the Damascus version, it's $82.75 at White Mountain Knives. Take off 10%, $74.48. That's about 99 Canadian. And in Canada, this is about $117. Not this one, the Damascus. So there you go. That's the prices. Now, it's a hollow grind, just like the original. Same blade shape. This one's got a thinner edge than the Elementum that I reviewed the first time. I think the first one was 17 thousandths of an inch. This thing's down to 12 thousandths of an inch thin at the edge. That's about 0.31 millimeters. So that's really, really thin at this edge. It still didn't cut great because it had the same sharpening issues that my original Elementum had. This side's got an average grind angle of 24.9 degrees. This side's got an average of 23.8 degrees. 25.2 down to 22.4, 2.8 degrees of change. This side started at 25.4, went to 24.4, so 1 degree of change. So it could have cut better, but it certainly will cut better once I've sharpened it. Nitro V steel, like it says right there. And other than that, everything else is just like the original, other than this button lock. Now let's take a good close look at this button lock. The top of that button, it's sort of dished out like a divot, but it's got really fine texture on it. Now I like that texture, and makes it easy to close it. Easy to open it with the button, close it with the button. Either one works. But even in the left hand, but it doesn't work as great to close it as it does to open it. Now, of course, it works better to open it because it's designed to even just use the flipper to open it, right? So you can just open it like that, which means when you use the button, you don't have to push it all the way in to open the blade. But you have to push it in all the way. And even then, it feels like sometimes when I want to close the knife, it catches a little bit. And it doesn't always work the way I want it to. The other thing is it seems to bounce a lot. When I go to close the blade, it bounces and bounces back out. I'm letting go of the button too late. Yes, I'm definitely letting go of the button too late. But, when I don't, it works. So even then, I thought I did it the same all 3 times, and it didn't quite close all the way. So, I don't know, that's probably just me. That's probably a Jake thing, and not something about this, but it is a thing. Now, I complained a little bit about there not being a left-hand version on the original Elementum. There's still no left-hand pocket clip on the Elementum II. Yeah, so it looks a little bit nicer without a little cutout here for a pocket clip. But still, lefties, if you don't really need left-handed customers, just say so, just tell you, left-handers go away. Is that your motto? I hope not. It works okay with the left hand, the way I've used it. I grew up left-handed. Now, my index finger doesn't want to learn the opening, there it's open, and closing as well as my thumb does. I prefer if it was, a fully left-handed knife, but I understand why they don't make this left-handed, but they really should be making the pocket clip left-handed. T8 flush screws back here, T8 screw here, those are really nice. The pocket clip screws, those are T6. And they're quite nice. There's very little play in these. And for a T6 screw, they're okay. But I really don't like T6 screws, but those flush screws work just fine. Pocket clip works just fine as well. This one's really stiff, but it worked just fine in the pocket. Again, the jimping, I wish it came out further. This forward section here, it works well as a forward choil. But, then I keep my thumb on the last little bit right there at least. But I would prefer if that jimping came out a little bit further. It's a nice knife. I also got myself a mini version of this. That's going to get a full review. That's a frame lock version. They come in copper or brass, kind of antiqued on both of those. I got one of those. I still have to review that. But this knife, there's not a lot of button lock knives that are better than this for the price. $58.50 US. It's really hard to find a better button lock. But this button just isn't quite crisp enough for me. I'm going to go take it apart and see if I find any burrs or anything about why I might not like that. Keep watching and we'll have it apart in just a... Okay, so yeah, the screws are just like the other one was. Got a little bit of Loctite on the little screws. It's just made the same, ball bearings, ceramic ball bearings in a phosphor bronze cage. Same kind of pivot pin, the same way that it holds on the on the G10 with that little thing sticking out there. But look at this. Let's see if I can get it to focus on my hand right here. There we go. If you're watching this in 4K, you can see it. You can see it clear as day. Right in the middle, there's a little bit of an edge. Have you seen this on anybody else's reviews? I thought I felt something, and there's definitely an edge there. I'm glad I used my better lens, my close-up lens. On this side, there doesn't seem to be much of a line. There's a little bit of a line, but on that edge, I can even feel it with my fingernail. There's a bit of an edge there, and that's what's catching on there. So that's a little disappointing. I don't see any awkward wear right here on the blade. Don't know why that's happening. I'm going to take this pocket clip off and take a look at the inside edge of that. Taking the pocket clip off let me take, the G10 off so I could take a look at it. And no, there's no awkward wear on there. So I'm not sure exactly how it's catching. But is that a factory defect on this surface? Or is that something that happened while it was being used? I don't know. But what I can tell you is that's not terribly smooth and that catches. Not a major complaint. It still works quite smoothly. It still works quite well. But there you go. That's what it is. And let me put it back together. Okay, I've got the knife open and locked and can't quite get it to focus right in there on here, but yeah, I do think that line does line up with this liner. I didn't see any wear on the inside of the liner, so maybe the steel or whatever metal they're using, it should be steel, that they're using on the button lock right there. It's a little too soft, I think. Something else is going on. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. I'm not a button lock expert. All right, the blade alignment, it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So that's nice. The flipper's got nice jimping on the front of it, so makes that work really good, just like the original. And I like the lanyard hole back there. I think that's the only other stuff I didn't cover. Oh, the balance point is right about there. Yeah, not terrible. Pretty good. It's a decent knife. It's not a bad knife at all. Now let's do, what are the unique measurements? This thing's a tiny bit heavier than the original version, not much. 88 grams, 3.1 ounces, not bad. The blade length, the blade thickness, the blade depth, that's all the same as the other ones. Thickness behind the edge, like I said, this is 12 thousandths, 0.31 millimeters. I told you the grind angle's on here, and that's pretty much the difference. But in case you're wondering, total length is just over 7 inches, about 179 millimeters. Not bad at all. It's a good size knife. A review of my pros and cons on this. I really like a hollow grind. The grip is comfortable. The forward grip is quite good. Sure, I'd like a little bit more jimping. I like the nice T8 screws. That's quite nice. I like the nice lanyard hole there. Blade alignment's good. Nitro V steel is good. It's decent. The button lock is not terrible. It's okay. I like the small badging. T6 pocket screws, yeah, not big fan of those. No left pocket clip, like I said before. I wish it did have a left pocket clip. It can be used by lefties. You can open and close it with one hand just fine with your left hand if you're a lefty. But you might not want it in your left pocket opening this way. I don't know. That's your own decision. And the con that surprised me is that this button is a little bit sticky due to that little wear line thing in there. So, yeah, Civivi, if you're watching, let me know what happened. If you've seen this before or not. If you've not seen this before, I'd be happy to mail this to you so you could investigate it yourselves and see what's going on, because I know you guys want to do a great job. And if you haven't seen this issue before, I wouldn't mind helping you troubleshoot it. So there you go, the button lock version, the Elementum II, comes at least 4 ways plus exclusives at a decent price. Check out a store near you. I've got links down below to make it easy for you to find this knife. thanks for watching. Thank you, especially those of you guys who support the channel financially. By the way, Alan picked the Ganzo Adamante Samson, and so I'll be sharpening that up and sending that to him ASAP along with some other stuff. And come the end of July, well, the beginning of August, we'll do another draw. And if Civivi doesn't contact me, this will be available in there, you know, along with that Hugin that I reviewed just a little while ago, and pretty much any other knife that I reviewed this year, but another winner hasn't chosen. And remember, friends, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb.